All right, everyone. It's another Friday, which means it's another Q&A with Alan and Marshall. I'm Marshall Atkinson.
I'm Alan Howe. Glad to be back. It's been a few weeks for me.
Yeah. It's good to see you. I thought you forgot where we lived or something.
Oh, man. I mean, between vacations and Thanksgivings, which I had a great one, and then just some family stuff came up. And I did. It felt like I forgot about it. But we got a big shout out to our buddy Richard Greaves, who's always there to step up for us and does an incredible job.
Yeah, and so we love having you, but sometimes when you're gone and I'm gone, sometimes it's the best show.
And I'm sure, you know what, and I wish I could say I watched it last week. I haven't. I've been so busy. Just with the family. And I can tell everybody now what happened. I had a stepbrother that passed away suddenly. Marshall knew about this, and we've been dealing with that estate. I've been helping my stepdad, and that was all closing last Friday. So I appreciate it. Just the time and everybody stepping up, and helping out here. But you know what? It's been, I forgot what I was saying. Such a long time on it, but it's been a good thing, man. It's just been swamped. I hadn't watched the show, but man, I mean, Dr. Ray work and Mark Soldonic on it. I hated not being here to welcome them into the academy. We were all together at, Penny United in Las Vegas, and I got to meet Dr. Work. I sat at his table with him, and man, what a smart guy.
Well, it was really good that they were here. And you know what? Just speaking about you missing the show, sometimes family's first, and that's okay. Don't worry about it. So.
And I know Cindy just posted, Alan, sorry for your loss. And it was, so my parents were older when I was older when they remarried. Technically it's stepbrother. I knew him, but we weren't real close, nothing like that. But I do have I do have a nephew there that Marshall knows I've turned into super uncle, surrogate father. He has been on the show. It is Miguel. He goes by Puff Carrot. So, and it was funny. I was with him Friday, and he was looking at my Instagram. He's looking at pictures. He goes, "Oh, there's one with you, Marshall and Richard." So Marshall's like his buddy.
Yeah. So anyway, glad you're back. It's good. Seems like old times kind of thing. So
it is, and man. So I mean, ASDP, Marshall, give me the recap. Soldonic and Dr. Work. How cool was it?
It was really good. They're super smart people, had amazing careers, and are still contributing and doing stuff.
Yep.
And it was a really good show. And if you missed it, just click on my YouTube channel, which is just YouTube/Marshall Atkinson.
Yep.
And you can check it out. You can also listen to it on our podcast, which is available wherever you listen to podcasts. So good stuff. So anyway, it's good to be talking with you today. And of course, it's kind of the middle of December-ish. And we've got a lot of things to talk about today, I think. It's going to be a good show.
We were talking.
We've got some people watching, but if you're watching right now, what we'd really love you to do is just drop us a little note and say hello and where you're watching from. I know we got people from all over the world sometimes. We'd love to know where you're from. And then also, this is a Q&A show, meaning we really rely on questions and also comments and you guys being engaged. So we've got some topics we want to talk about, but that doesn't mean that limits what you guys need to do. So if you've got something going on in your world and you want to get some advice on it, that's what we're here for. That's what the whole show's about.
Yep.
And then also, we would love it if you would share that you're watching the show. That's how we build our viewership, right? Is people sharing that they're watching. It's great that you like the show. That's awesome. But when it gets shared, then we really ramp up the viewership. So,
and we have noticed on our largest audiences, while we love the live stuff, it comes during the week, and it's always when it's shared a lot. And, and by a lot, we could say if it's more than 4 times of 4 people, it's just going up and up. It is exponential, so it's great.
Yeah, it's great. So, so let's say hey to some folks. So Cindy says, good morning. Oh, I'm not sure if I remember it was Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel your pain. It's the end of the year and got a lot going on. So we'll see what's up.
Yeah.
Ghost says, hey, it's still family. That's right.
Appreciate it, Cindy.
Hurley says, good morning, gents.
From Canada. Yep.
Yep. And Ray says, greetings, Screenlings, as always, from Oklahoma City.
And Ray, it was great talking to you last night. As I was driving home from Chicago last night, Ray and I talked and made the drive go a lot better. So appreciate it.
Yeah. And what's up from Sean? It's raining in Alpharetta. So
how you doing, Sean?
Umbrella time. Nice tan, Alan.
Thank you. I did pull some sun when I was in Florida. So glad.
And look, Mr. Rob's here today. That's fantastic.
Yes.
All right. Awesome. And Christine's here. Hi from Northern California. Good to see you, Christine.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, all right. So what do you say we pay some bills real quick, and then we'll come back and get our first topic going.
Do a little GSG action.
Yeah. Where's this thing?
And you know what? We don't have our header, Marshall, with GSG on it. What happened?
Well, we took it off because there's too many people. Good thinking on that.
Yeah.
Let me fix that real quick.
Yep.
Where is that? Because
we don't want to forget our sponsor, GSG. They do such a great job right there. They do such a great job with us, and what a great company. Really.
Yeah, last week I took it off because we had 4 people on, and the logos were blocking people's faces.
Yep. Can't have that. So.
Yeah. So we have to be able to see people. So anyway, here's a word from our sponsor, GSG, and enjoy.
All right.
GSG, the combination of over half a century of knowledge with industry-leading technology and the customer at the center of everything that we do. Graphic Solutions Group is a powerhouse distributor of traditional screen, sign, wide format digital printing, embroidery, and textile decorating. We are committed to our customers, providing support, educational, and consulting services. Your success is our success. We've seen these industries grow and change in our 70 years. One thing never changes: GSG's dedication providing the best products and services available. We've been around, we'll be around, from the highs and the lows, standing right here with you. GSG, the right products, right away.
And we're back.
We are back.
So I got some comments. Cora's here. Good morning, Cora.
Hey, Cora, how you doing?
And then good to see you back, Alan from Scrimshaw.
Thank you, Shane. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah. And Ray says what we need is some GSG shirts. So I don't know if they can figure out how to print those. Hey, I'm wearing Shirt Lab today.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm not. I'm wearing Marshall knows. I'm wearing a shirt from one of my clients called Living Fresh, with kind of the Michigan Detroit variation logo on it. So yeah, cool deal.
So before we get going with the topics, I just want to give a shout out to, we're having another Shirt Lab workshop next week. You can register for this on Eventbrite. It's the Shirt Lab Workshop 2023 Industry Trends. This is with Christina Marcantelli with SNS Activewear. I've seen the presentation already, and it's really slick, right? So what they've done is they've broken up different types of garments into the trends that you need to pay attention. And this is a fantastic way to learn what's new, what's going to be hot for next year. This is a free webinar. It's going to be on December the 15th at 3:00 Eastern. So you can just go to Eventbrite, Shirt Lab Workshop 2023 Industry Trends, and you can get registered, and it's 100% free and lots of fun. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. And everybody that registers, they have a slide deck with all the shirts they're going to show. There's a hyperlink where you can buy them. So I think there's, I don't know how many. There's like 5 or 6 dozen different shirts that they're going to show. So this is where you can find the trend and also where you can buy it. So it's a free workshop. So get registered. If you happen to be busy at 3 o'clock Eastern, if you register for it, you get the video later. I'll just email it to you. So make sure you get registered, whether you can attend or not. That way you get the information. So
Yep.
just want to throw that out there.
And
so,
you know what? You think trends will just come and go, man. When you can get a handle and an idea of what's happening for the next year, that gives you right up on your client. You can go to them, and now's the time to be doing that. Going, what are you thinking about next year? Here's what the hot trends are going to be.
And what's really cool is that the thing that we're going to send out with this is something that you can forward to your clients. And so you can get a really hot take on getting some advanced orders on some things. Also, if you're planning on going to a trade show this year, these are the things that you can make sure that you want to look at when you go by the booth. And then you can say, oh, yeah, you want to touch and feel it, or maybe you want to order a sample. This is kind of the way you want to do it. So it's going to be a really great workshop. And Christina's so nice. I met her at Shirt Lab Chicago. She came with her college-age son because he was doing his own brand for his college kids, right? So college kind of thing. So
I was wondering where I knew her from, and it was from there, from Shirt Lab Chicago.
Yeah. So anyway, so get registered for that. Again, it's Eventbrite Shirt Lab Workshop 2023 Industry Trends, and get registered. It's 100% free. So, all right. Hey, we got some more viewers. So Charles is here. Hey guys, happy Friday. Dean's here. Good to see you, buddy. What was your biggest find and most surprising exciting reveal this past year in the decorated apparel industry? Oh, good question.
Great question.
You go first, Alan. I got mine locked
I got two things. And one, Dean, you're going to like this. First of all, you know, I think the advancement of laser technology and exposure, that Kiwo's jumped into the game. And I heard Murakami has jumped into the game.
Oh, really?
I have one too. And I did not know that. Might be the best kept secret. And I think that technology with more people.
We should have all three on the show and have the battle of the lasers.
Maybe we'll talk about that.
It'll look like Star Wars, right?
Yeah, exactly. You know, and I think that technology in the decorated apparel screen print space is big. Dean, I did, when we had Brian on the show, and when I talked to him at Printing United, the RTP
ready to print.
Yeah, ready to print, bleed resistant garment, I think is badass, and something that just needs to be brought to everybody's attention more.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, when there's technologies like that, those are things that really jazz me. And those were all towards the end of the year. I was excited too, you know, of course, with the, not the two, our own horn, but the Blue Water auto reclaim machines, you know, are just going great. You know, unfortunately, lead times are more because people keep ordering them. One of our good friends, and I think he's already posted about it, Tom Rowan, has purchased one, and yeah. So
good. For me, it's the explosion of DTF, and I don't think there is an industry leader yet that's really doing anything with the machines. There are a lot of different machines at Printing United. Like you couldn't throw a rock without hitting somebody selling a DTF machine. And to me, it feels almost exactly like when DTG came out. What was that, 10 or 15 years ago, whatever that was.
Yep.
And so it's really interesting. I don't think there's a leader yet in it for machines. I do know that there's a lot of options. And I can tell you there's a lot of people interested who haven't made a purchase yet, and they're waiting for the big boys to show up, you know, Brother, Roland, those type of folks, M&R, right? So what happens when those guys make their DTF machines? I do know that the leading kind of application is using powder as the adhesive, rather than printing a clear adhesive. That seems to be far in the best way to go, just for what seems to work the best. But a lot of people are getting in this industry and doing these transfers. And one of the things that I think they're not really thinking about is the environment that these printers need to be in. They really need to have a temperature and humidity controlled environment, because that really helps everything work better. And I know a lot of people are struggling because they just throw it out in the shop with everything else, and they don't understand that when the temperature and humidity changes, so does how it works with your film and different processes. So you really need to really look at that. And then also when you change your film or you change your ink, your ICC profiles that you've done work calibrating, and now those are off because you've added some new variables to the equation. Right. So I think a lot of people, it's just a crazy thing. So to me, it's I can't wait to see what happens in 2023, because I know right around the corner, some of the bigger companies are going to come out with some equipment. I hear a lot of rumbling. I don't know anything for exact, but that's what I hear. I know a lot of people have jumped in and they're making killer money doing it. And to me, I think the best way to do right now is to order your transfers from a transfer company, right? Build up the process that you're using, and then take some of that cash you got from the sales and just stow it away in a bank account. And then when I think the equipment comes to more of a mature level, buy something that's going to work. And I know there's plenty of equipment makers right there that are probably angry at me. I just said that, but I want to see some results that are more mature before I can advise people on what to do. So that's kind of where I'm at.
I think, Marshall, I agree with you so much on the DTF. It's an exciting thing. One, because we're all into that unit of one, and that helps. And on these difficult items, that makes it not so difficult. But I think you're right. And I almost hate in our industry, when we've been doing this long enough, we're seeing the same cycles as with, like I said, DTG, where they have these machines and there's people don't realize that they need to have environmental spaces in it. And you know what? I don't know if that's the manufacturer's not telling them. And it's like, why are we going around the same circle again? Come on, people, get with it. Manufacturers on it, and I see it in the screen with new equipment and new technology. It's like, all right, come on. We know
there's always going to be new technology, and pick your whatever. Pick your right? There's going to be new technology, and it's great if you're an early adopter. Part of the early adopter thing is that you're signed on for a potential. It doesn't work as well.
But to know something
in the meantime, you've solved a problem and you're making money, hopefully. Right. But I know from listening to so many people's stories about what they're doing and some challenges they've had, and it's all across different brands of equipment. It's not, I don't think there's one we can single out. But I just think that right now, I can't advocate for anybody. So I'm kind of in wait and see mode.
I agree.
And I want somebody to take charge and really earn it. Right. I just really want that to happen more than anything. So,
same thing. But I think on things like humidity and environmental control, we've seen this in DTG, now DTF. It happened with direct to screen stuff. It's like, and this somehow the manufacturer's got to say, and just start refusing to sell them. Like, if you can't do this, it's going to be a problem.
It's the same with screen printing. When it's 50 degrees in your shop, you're going to have a problem printing. Okay. When it's 114 in your shop, you might have some issues also. What's your humidity level? I mean, there's a lot of things that factor into what we do, because it changes the viscosity of the ink. It changes how your people work. It changes all kinds of stuff, right?
When I was selling emulsions, I told one manufacturer, I go, if you sell another stinking fluorescent tube exposure unit with no top on it and tell people they can do water-based ink, I'm going to come and kill you. Because the emulsion doesn't work, and then I get the call on it. And I'm like, it's like, come on.
Right.
So
we got a pile of comments. So let's get to some.
Great question though, Dean.
Richard's listening from Michigan. By the way, if you're watching what were your top things this year? We would love
Absolutely.
to get all those comments in also.
Yep.
So feel free to share, and please let Alan and I know if our opinions are wrong. We'd love to have a debate. So,
Because we just don't feel we are.
yeah. So Richard's listening from Michigan. Good to see you, buddy. Ray says Kibo jumping in his interest in the industrial sectors because of the high resolution capability. Love to see what Murakami has. Yep.
And I haven't seen Murakami's. I've heard it twice this week that they have it. I heard it from one person. I confirmed it with another. I'm like, wow.
Cindy just registered for the workshop. Thank you, Cindy.
Great, Cindy. Good job.
And Braden says, is Blue Water going to be at Long Beach?
I can say, yes, they are. We are planning to have, there's going to be a blue water machine there.
Great.
So it'll be the first showing in public. As of now, there's planned to.
Yeah. You doing a show special or anything? Do you know?
I do not know.
Okay. Dean says the new RTP 2000 polyester. We would love some promotional ideas on how to get the word out. We think it's pretty cool too. Thanks, Alan. We're digging into some DTF space as well. It just makes sense.
It does. And when you have a polyester shirt like that for not just directed garment, but also like DTF. And I was talking to Brian, off site, and he said, man, even screen printed stuff, like, okay, now we're into some pretty cool technologies.
So a promotional idea, what could you do? I don't know. You could probably take one shirt and print 30 logos on it, and each logo with some customer's different logo, cut that up into squares and do it kind of like an embroidery swatch card and send it to them. And you can say, hey, now offering polyester digital.
Yeah.
And that way it becomes a low cost thing. I don't know. Or just doing a whole sample for them, something.
Yeah. I think that the other thing is, there still needs to be, for screen printers, they're always going to be skeptical of stuff like this. I told Brian, I said, there needs to be a print done, and then that needs to be put in the middle of a pile that's warm, and then in a box and shipped to someone a week later, and then a week later they take it out and see how that shirt looks. That's going to be a test.
Yeah, maybe, and then maybe make that shirt a different color so it can be found easy.
Absolutely. Well, no, you kind of want them all.
Either black, and the red shirt's the one that we need to look at.
Well, I would want them all red, because then I want to check for one bleeding, but is there migration, but also migration transfer on the back of the other shirt.
Maybe there's a hang tag or something so you can find
something. Yeah, absolutely. And I think there's some stuff like that where you do it and you can do some video of it and show it. That's going to be some cool stuff.
Yeah. So Cora says, I first asked about DTF before COVID and there wasn't much, but it converted Epson. Greatest evolving.
I don't know. It's evolving. There's more people in it and they're learning more. So it's a more educated early adopter.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, that was good. More educated.
Hey, James is here. Hey, the adhesive powders are so hygroscopic and need to stay dry. Keep your powder dry. Yeah. So you should be using the little silica packet things.
Yep.
You can order them from Amazon in different shapes and sizes. And if you're storing any of this stuff, put one of those silica bags in with your transfers, in with your powder, in with where you're storing things, and that absorbs all that humidity.
Yep.
So, Dean says humidity is the key to DTG as well. And yes, a topic that hasn't been addressed much. Great point, Marshall.
Thank you, Dean.
I love it when people agree with me. So awesome. Grace says DTF technology is on the edge of similarities with thermal ribbon transfer technology we use in industrial. Okay, good.
Cool deal.
Dr. Wirt cautioned about the dangers of not protecting people from breathing an adhesive powder. I forgot about that, Richard. Yes, good point about that. So make sure that you're using some sort of mask,
respirator.
Yeah, respirator thing, and that way they're not inhaling glue.
Yep.
Inhaling glue doesn't sound like something I want to be doing.
Lungs would not be good for that. Yeah. And you know what? If you missed that show, what we're talking about is Dr. Ray Work was on with Mark Soldonic last week. So go back and view that.
Yep. Ray says anything that is digital transfer inkjet DTF requires specific site setup parameters. Yes.
And that includes what they're saying, and that includes direct to screen too. So make sure you know.
Brain says it's one of the main reasons we're going. I think that's our next step. Auto reclaim.
Braden, I think it's something you need to look at.
Marshall has been to our shop. Wouldn't you agree? I agree with lots of stuff, and anything you can do to get more things handled with less effort is a big boon. And I think this is one of them. But like anything, there has to be standards and processes and stuff. So make sure when you buy the equipment that there's some education with your people about how to use things.
Sorry, Blue Water, we don't educate people. That's what we do. So yeah. And Braden, I remember sitting down with you at Shirt Lab Fort Worth, you and myself and Alex, and just talking about it. So
yeah,
what's coming down the pike. So yeah, something I think you definitely need to take a look at and ponder.
Yeah, and Braden says we're going to also look at dryers. Our dryers are basically Granger dryers now, right? And
that dryer name is.
By the way, I was at a shop one day, and one of my visits, and I said, "Hey, do you guys have a donut probe?" Right? And we tested, and the left side of his dryer was 17 degrees cooler than the right side of the dryer.
Yeah.
And I believe that you got the chimney sweep to come right out and clean the flue up and do some stuff, and that really helped, right? So this is the reason why we measure, is we know stuff like that.
Yep.
So
that type of dryer they saying Sphacia. Some of you, Marshall, are you familiar with it?
I've seen it in Braden's shop, and that's about it. So
yeah, well, they've been gone, but it might be Richard Ray and myself that are familiar with them. They were one of the top worldwide manufacturers of equipment for a long time out of Europe.
Yeah.
So
good.
Yeah, but they are probably basically Granger dryers now.
Yeah. So how is it working? Oh yes, $17.75 or minimum wage on January 1. Ouch.
Yeah.
That's ouch.
Labor is anytime in any shop anywhere in the country. You gotta watch labor anywhere you can automate.
Price increase.
Yep.
Also, this is where automation's your friend, right?
That's just saying. Yep. Absolutely.
Yep. So Braden also says, yes, we require Ken to bring the dryer logs through every production meeting every Tuesday to make sure it's happening.
Awesome. Good call.
Well, make sure they're not just filling out the logs. Okay. So, you don't want to make sure they're doing it and saying they're doing it by filling out the logs. Okay. So make sure you know that they're doing it. And I know that you guys have cameras that you can check. So,
and I know, Marshall, I was in a shop we were talking about that, same thing. We were talking, they had huge monster shop just over the years. I'm not going to say it publicly, grown. And they said, we have grown so fast. We're talking fundamental stuff that I've taught on there. And they go, we have a, tension meter, never been used out of the box. So it's like, get me a screenshot.
Where is
it? How to do it.
It's on the shelf. It's under stuff.
And you know what? There was no dust. There was no dust on it.
In a drawer in somebody's desk.
Right? So I got them all laughing. I said, it's great that you have it. These things do not work by osmosis.
Yeah. Here's another one. Where's the owner manual for the dryer or the press? We don't know.
Manual?
Right?
Owner manual.
What is the preventative maintenance schedule? We don't know.
Yeah.
Right? So these are questions that when we do shop visits, we ask this stuff.
Right.
All right. Ray says Swedish manufacturer thinks they're gone about 1999. And Dean says Granger dryers, and he's laughing at that. I ran my whole screen printing shop on an old spec oven.
Yeah, I remember spec too. They were gone about around same time, probably about 98, 97.
So I think this is a good segue to our first topic. And we're almost halfway over.
We're going to have to go fast. But hey, great questions. That's what it's about.
Which is end of the year purchases.
Yeah.
Right. So you've got things that aren't working right. Right. And we want to buy stuff. What are we buying? Right. And we talked about this a little bit before the show. So Alan, why don't you throw out one of the things that you were talking about with one of your clients?
Well, everybody wants to, are going to need to make purchases. Their accountant's going, you got to spend some money. And usually that's a big thing for equipment, but now it's too late because the equipment has to be in your shop, I believe, legally for you to take those deductions. What a couple of my clients do is they buy 3 to 4 months worth of ink, white and black and base and chemical and emulsion. and they're using it as that, going, I got to spend money, and they can write it off. And now they can't do it under the 179 thing, which is equipment, but it is, you got to spend money, and they're doing it. Right. So things to look at. There will be price increases after the first of the year. We know it.
Right.
So it'd be something to think about. But those year-end purchases, and that's where about July, August, September, you get with your accountant, and they can usually tell you're going to need to spend some money. I know one of our clients, mine and yours, Marshall, in Ohio, he's not doing equipment purchase. You know what? He needs a new roof on his building. He's doing all that stuff.
Yeah, right.
So these are things to do before the end of the year. It's gotta happen.
Yeah, so it's just about really looking at stuff, and I really like your comment about how in our supply chain there may be price increases. So if you know that they're going to be going up 10% or whatever, you can ask them, hey, what's the story with January? Now's the time to get stuff that you need. And a lot of this stuff, it's not like it's a cantaloupe. It's not going to go bad, right?
Right.
So what can you do that's going to make you a little more profitable in that first quarter because you've got supplies already on hand, right?
Right.
All right. So, and then also just thinking about what you're doing, purchases, we've got trade shows coming up. So you might be thinking about and doing your research now. And maybe it's, you really want to pull the trigger on stuff, but you're not sure, right? So maybe you talk to that equipment manufacturer or whatever. Hey, are you doing show specials? It's hard to say today. Show specials. Can I just get that now instead of going to the show? Do I need to actually fly to California, or can I just get it now? Right? Maybe you get delivery in January, but you buy it now, and that way it's a little cheaper. Or you're doing your research now. So it's just really about kind of targeting what you need more than anything. What's going to be the biggest payoff for you? The way I've always kind of looked at it is we want a ROI in about 18 months on stuff, right? So this shouldn't be, we'll pay for itself in 5 years. How can we make it pay for itself in a year and a half? That's what we really want to look at, okay? And you got to do the math. So you're saving labor, you're saving consumables, you're saving things. This happens by measuring.
Yep.
What does it take? Can you prove on paper or with the spreadsheet that when you make this change, it's going to pay off this way, right? Yeah. That really helps you make that decision. And if the math isn't right, then it's not a good fit.
Right.
It can't just be, I need a shiny toy just because everybody else is doing it, right? And this includes DTF machines, DTG machines,
embroidery, anything. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be computers.
Flash units, whatever. Yeah. New telephone system, whatever it takes.
Yeah, right. Comments. Josh says, good morning.
From Oklahoma.
Braden says, ISS needs to be in October, not January, exactly for this reason.
Maybe. I kind of agree, but you know what? If you make the purchase in January or you make the purchase now, you still get the write-off because it'll deliver. You'll get it for next year.
Well, what's in October is Printing United, right?
Well, he mentioned that in his comment just below too.
Oh, sorry.
And it is there.
But then again, that's why Printing United should be the big show of the year. That gives you time to meet with your CPA before the end of the year. Yeah. So,
well, and I actually think this is where before the beginning of the last quarter or around August, September, you should be having a question with them.
Well, if you, how many people that are on this webinar attended Mark Coudre's financial webinar earlier this week? These are some of the things that we talked about, which was getting better financial information about what's going on in your business by the 10th of the month.
Yep.
Not 4 months, hey, we need to close the month. You need to buy the 10th of the month. So you know what's going on. And I talked to so many shops where, they're waiting on their financial info from like August. They don't have it. They have no idea what's going on in their shop, right? And I think it's really important that we get this financial info so we can tell what's going on and we can make better decisions.
Yep.
Good, bad, or ugly, you need to know, right?
Yep, absolutely.
All right. So Sean says he needs a chili quartz flash.
And you know what? Stuff like that, that's where you check with your M&R distributors. What do they have in stock? You can still get those and write it off if they have in stock. Same thing. Simon.
Right. Cleaning station or adhesive system. Just saying, hey, Simon, you got one of those for sale?
Yeah. And, with Techmar.
Go ahead, drop the URL, drop that in the comments.
Yep.
Somebody wants to buy that.
So this is small stuff that if they can ship it out and you have it before the end of the year, it's the write-off. So think about that.
So Dan says, hello. Good to see you, Dan.
That's on Dan.
Charles says, I wish it was in October too.
You know what? But it's always January, so everybody needs to be there. I think it's going to be a good show this year, Marshall.
Oh, and he's got the Corona. Great.
You know what? Simon is a black belt in martial arts, so I think he just kind of wills the Rona away.
Yeah. So Charles says, I did. Great webinar. Thank you, Charles. Glad you enjoyed it. By the way, if you missed the webinar, you can watch if you're a member of Shirt Lab Tribe. If you're not a member of Shirt Lab Tribe, you should join at shirtlabtribe.com, and that's in our video section where you can watch that and other webinars. Just throwing it out there. Simon says, here you go. Here's the thing.
And Techmar is also distributed one of their dealers as our sponsor, Graphic Solutions. Because didn't you say you guys talked about that last week?
So before we get too far down the road, let's do our GSG plug. Yep. So Go GSG is where you find, let me get this.
All the goodies.
Here. And we're going to talk about, what are we talking about today, Alan, as I show it?
The BBC, Alios dryer. This is my idea. So you know what? This dryer is another thing that I saw. It's not brand new, but the last couple of years. And what a great dryer. BBC was always known for the little buddies and black flashes and small things like that. And, they really have upped their dryer. This is an electric dryer that'll do plastisol, it'll do water-based and DTG, direct-to-garment. I've seen them on a lot of direct-to-garment units. And what a super dryer it is. So, BBC stands for Black Body. It's BBC Industries, Black Body company.
Well, it's a black body dryer. Why is it white?
Well, it's the company because this is their new line. This is the Alios. And
I'm just trying to be funny.
Yep. And we were laughing on the inside. But you know what? This is a great dryer. I know some distributors have picked it up all over the world on it for them. And nice job, BBC and GSG has them. It's in their pulse. And you're looking for an electric dryer for either plastisol, water-based, or direct-to-garment, give GSG a shout.
Yeah, and you can find them at gogsg.com.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, so our second topic. We're not going to finish today, I'm afraid.
You know what? But great conversations and good questions.
The second topic today is goals.
Yep.
And so we always talk about goals. We talk about that a lot. But here we are, a couple weeks left in the year, and there's two things that we can really talk about, which is how did we do in 2022? And then what the hell are we going to do in 2023, right? What is going on, right? So one of the things that I do every year is I set goals for myself. Okay. And I think you should too. And I have, as you may have guessed, I have a spreadsheet and I look at this stuff, and Alan knows because we talk all the time about it.
All the time.
I look all the time, and I have got a yearly goal that I'm trying to get. And I've broken that down into quarters, and I've broken that down into months. And this time last year, I set a goal for myself for sales that, and this conversation I had with you, Alan, it's like, I don't know how I'm going to do it.
Yep.
How am I going to do it? But I am certainly going to try. Okay. Earlier this week, I hit my sales goal. In fact, I am now 4% over my sales goal. A year ago, I didn't know how I was going to do it. How did that happen? It's the grind. It's constantly looking and measuring and looking at stuff. And I've also not only hit my sales goal, I have dropped my expenses by right now it's a little over 8%, but I think by the time the year ends, it's going to be about 7.5%. Okay.
Right.
So 7.5%, what is that? That's called profit, buddy. That's profit.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay? So this is one of these things that you running your shop, you running your business, or maybe you're not even a shop, maybe you're a supplier. You guys need to be setting goals, and then really focus on how you're going to get it. And we all know you can't just say, I'm going to do 50 grand a month. That's unrealistic. I would look at your goals as to when you're busy, when you're slow, right? You know you're going to be busy at certain times of the year. So when you're slow, this is where you make that up that you can hit your bigger goal.
Right.
So if you're normally doing a slower thing, how can you add a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more? And you're constantly trying to push that thing. And I'm going to do one more sales call today.
Yep.
Right? How am I going to do that? And you shared with me something that you did this week that really just kind of nestles in with that idea. So Alan, share what you did.
Well, first of all, I'll share my goal. So I hit my goal I haven't hit yet. I'm about less than 50,000 away. It shouldn't be a problem. And the other thing about goals, Marshall, I had a plan to hit that goal. That plan got blew up and I hit it in other areas that I didn't even expect. So you just keep grinding. So I was working with a dealer this past week. I was in Illinois. I did not stop by and see Peter because I'm a bad friend, but he knows that before he says something. But, that drive from back home from Michigan to Chicago is not long. It always seems tedious just, getting through the city. So when I take off, I want to leave by 1:00 just to kind of beat traffic in all the cities and stuff. And we had a plan to do that. Had a great call that morning, went longer, almost 2 hours with a big company, which was amazing. You never want to shut those down. And a lot of stuff going to come to it. We're grabbing a coffee at Starbucks. We had another appointment we were going to do. And then he calls me as we're on the way to this appointment and pulls over and he just calls me on my phone. I was driving behind him. He said, hey man, there is a company I have not heard about or called on in about probably 8 years. It looks like they've just moved into this area. I know you got to get on the road. We're a minute away. Would you be up for a cold call? And you know what I said? Absolutely not. Absolutely, I said. 1 minute away. How can we not stop by?
Right.
We did that a couple times in 2 days. And, sometimes it's in and out. Both of them were not in and out. We had a dialogue. We had conversation. One where we're going to be sending products to test to. Mm-hmm. And that's how you do it. It's that next phone call, that next email, that next customer visit, that next little thing off your to-do list. You keep grinding.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's one more phone call. It's one more video. It's one more outreach. It's sending something in the mail.
Yep.
It's just you keep doing that, and that's how you hit the goals. These are for sales goals. If it's like an operational goal, it's like this is one more training class. This is one more experiment. This is one more. What if we did this? Right? Those are how these things happen, and you just keep doing them.
Yeah.
And you have to make time for it. They don't happen by themselves. You have to just do it. And and this is how at the end of the year you hit the goals that you want, right? And then what we have to do is we have to focus on, well, what are we doing next year, right? And so I am about to do that work myself for my business.
Mm-hmm.
But let me tell you, this is one of the things I help a lot of shops with is figuring out what they want to do. Typically in December and January, I work with, I bet you 3 dozen, 4 dozen shops on redoing their pricing.
Yep.
Every year. And I'm doing that right now with a whole bunch of people, right? Because everybody wants to come out with January with new pricing, right? And then we start having all these discussions about how pricing happens and because I have a particular method that I like to use, which is based on math of how you run your shop, not we pull something out of thin air, right?
Exactly.
And so there's a lot of work associated with that, and a lot of people are doing that work right now. So, but you have to be putting stuff down and working on it, even if it's 15 or 20 or 30 minutes a day. This is how it gets done. So,
yep.
All right. So we got some comments. All right. So Christy says, I love GSG. Thank you, Christy. I'm sure
they're amazing. I love the emoji
faces. Simon says goals, not a lot between USA and England.
0-0. Not a goal. Yeah. They miss goals all the time. So yeah.
Well, there's some people who like soccer, and then there's me. So the AOS is an incredible dryer and absolutely perfect for DTG curing. So many of our direct customers implemented them into their production.
Yep.
Great.
Agreed.
And Peter's here, so we're talking about his competition. I'm sure he loves that. So good morning from M&R. And Peter says, Alan, you now know me too well.
Yep.
Right?
And you know what? While we did,
look, Ashley's here. What's up, Ashley?
Marshall.
I used to work. Hey, hold on. I used to work with Ashley when she ran customer service for Inksoft.
Oh.
And I have lost track of her. She now lives in LA, and she is a hairstylist, I believe. So
I would have met Ashley when I was there at Inksoft during.
I hope you're doing fantastic, Ashley. Thank you for watching, and let's catch up. You got my number; it's the same one I've always had.
And did you see where Ashley's viewing from? LinkedIn.
LinkedIn, cool.
All right,
love it. Thank you, Ashley.
For back to Peter, while we did mention a competitive dryer on there, Peter, I was working with an M&R dealer while in Chicago, so it's there. And hey, Sean from Alpharetta needs a new chili quartz dryer, and
you got any chili quartz dryers around, Peter? We just made a sale for you. Call Sean.
Yeah, call Sean.
Chris says, I vowed to learn high density this year, and that's the only goal I set for the year. Great. And guess what? You are absolutely kicking ass, man.
Yep.
Love it. You're blowing people away with that.
I had someone ask me, they go, who's the guy we were talking about? Samir from over in Turkey. He goes, is that the guy that's been posting? I go, no, that's Chris Molds up in Canada. So they know you.
By the way, I had a fantastic conversation with Jesse Martinez the other day about high density silicone transfers.
Ooh.
So something to think about. There's some new stuff coming.
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't say anything because, it's behind the scenes stuff.
Yep.
So, hey, Charlie's here. Good morning, guys. Hey, buddy. Good to see you.
Always good to see Charlie. So.
All right. So we got 15 minutes left. We got 2 more topics. You ready? I think we can do it.
Can we?
ISS Long Beach.
That's the one I want to talk about. Yep.
Okay. Who's going? Raise your hand if you're going. Put in the comment if you're going.
Yep.
I'm going. Are you going, Alan?
I am going. I'm going to be there.
I'm coming in Thursday. I'm staying until Sunday. If I don't know you, I want to hook up. Let's have some coffee. Let's go to lunch. Let's meet up somewhere. I don't have a booth. I'm like a pirate. Let's just find me. And I'm always wandering around. I'm teaching 2 classes, so you can look it up to see what classes I'm teaching. Please sign up. You might learn something.
I'm going to be there at the Easy Way and Blue Water booth. Make sure you come find me. If we don't know each other, let's introduce each other, man.
I want to meet everybody. So
and at Long Beach Marshall too, we can probably do 2 topics at once. You're having a little event too.
I'm having an event. Oh yeah, we are having an event. It's a mastermind dinner. Let's show everybody that. Where is that thing? Hold on.
Not that one. Don't look, Marshall.
Got to click on the thing. Here it is. So this is the 3rd year we've done this, and it is an amazing event. So Shirt Lab, of course, is my education company that I do with Tom Rowan and Allie Banholzer. And we rent an Airbnb beach house at Long Beach, and we have a mastermind dinner, and it's lots of fun. It starts at 6, and last year it went to 1:30 in the morning. And it is, we have an open bar, we have apps, we've got a really good dinner. I cooked chicken and filet mignon for everybody last year. Lots of food. We got more food than you can eat. Dessert, everything. But the main thing is there is a curated industry discussion that we have. And last year was all about sales and stuff. And it's just a fantastic event, and is limited to 20 people. Okay. And there's some expense. It's $200, but that pays for the event. It pays for the experience. And let me tell you, it's so worth it. I think if you go, you'll be blown away by the quality of the people that are there. So who's in the room? Well, of course, I'm there. Tom's there. Allie's there. Charlie Tobley will be there. Richard Greaves will be there. Alan just told me he's coming. Dre is going to be there. So this is going to be a lot of stuff where you can hang out with some really awesome people and network with other shop owners. This is where the action is. Okay. And it's not at a restaurant. It's in a beach house. It's not on the beach. I don't even should really call it a beach house, but it's lots of fun and you'll have a great time. So where can you sign up? You can sign up by Eventbrite, Shirt Lab, Long Beach Mastermind, and get signed up today. Once the 20 spots are, because there's only so many seats we have in the house. Once they're gone, they're gone. So if you're going to Long Beach, don't have plans Friday night, this is where you should be.
Yep. And you know what? These shows, we're talking about Long Beach, ISS. Last year it was kind of, stuff was still going on. I ended up pulling out, not going. A lot of people. Everybody's going to be there this year. I know some people from international are coming, and it's going to be a good show. This
is going to be a great show, and this event I think is going to be a lot of fun. And I'm sure, if you've been to Long Beach, every supplier has their thing somewhere. This means you don't go to something, sure, right? But let me tell you, this is where you learn stuff from the best people in the industry. So highly recommended.
This is where you go back, and this is where you're going to learn stuff that you can go back and implement in your business right away. Yeah.
So anyway, just wanted to kind of throw that out there. We've got a million comments here. I need to catch up here. So hold on.
It's going to be fun. I'm glad when you asked me, Marshall, I had to check and see what Easy Way's schedule was. And I'm glad that we're free on that. They said, no, absolutely do it.
Yeah. So, So, all right. So Braden says Thermoprint does those. We've done some projects for Samware with them and they're wicked cool.
Cool.
That's great. I'm sure he's talking about silicone transfers. Chris says, I've done them, got a bit more tweaking left. Great. Braden says, we're going to Long Beach. Awesome.
We'll see you there.
Ray's here. Happy Friday. See you at ISS. Great.
Ray, I got something for you too. I got to call you after the show.
Cool. And then Braden says, we're trying to debate a Thursday or Friday, and then we're staying since the main hotel is now booked.
That's the other thing. ISS, if you're even thinking of going, get hotels or places to stay right now. Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, I've got my hotel already set for Printing United in October in Atlanta. I already got the hotel.
Cool.
Because I want to be able to walk there.
Yeah, exactly.
So Chris says, how to stop testing to get my Christmas rushes done. Of course.
Absolutely.
Aaron Keith Melton says, hi. Good to see you, buddy. Peter says, M&R will be there with a bunch of new stuff. Look forward to seeing everyone there.
Yep. M&R put on a show at
Printing United.
I can't wait to see.
It was I talked to Peter. It was the biggest show space they've had in the history of the company.
Yep.
So Charlie says, I'll be there on Tuesday through Sunday doing 2 day-long workshops and 3 seminars.
He'll be busy as always.
Yep. And he posted that twice. Morning, gentlemen. Good to see you, Cal.
Cal will be there.
Charlie says, I'll be at the dinner as well. Yep. We'll be there. Booth 773 stopped by and mentioned Alan's name for a surcharge. Marshall's name gets you a discount.
And
Oh,
you know,
right.
I want to say something right now, but I probably will, Simon, because you're 1,000 miles away. But if you go to Albatross's booth, Alan's name gets you a discount. Oh, wow. I'm kidding.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Cindy says, gotta go. Thanks. Ray Smith's here. Hey, Ray, what's up, man?
You doing, Ray?
3D silicone transfer is good. That's what I thought. Marshall, you're going to PPAI Vegas by chance? I am not. I am just too busy to go to that. And I've also I've not renewed my PPAI membership. This is the second year I'm not paying them. So I'm really just concentrating on screen printers and not the promo folks. So that's why I stepped out of Promo Kitchen. I've just refocused on my core clients. So that's what's going on with that. So anyway, Aviant will be at Long Beach, of course.
All right.
And Simon says, yeah, well, Albatross ain't there, so there.
Well, okay, you went on that one, Simon. I still love you, man.
Right. So wrapping up, we got one thing left to talk about. The rest of this year, we're still having Q&A. So you might wonder what's going on Christmas week. You might wonder what's going on New Year's Eve. We are still having our Q&As. Mm-hmm. And like previous New Year's Eve shows, we're going to be boozing it up. So
bring your favorite beverage.
On New Year's Eve, I'll be drinking some Bloody Marys. And
I usually drink mimosas.
Yeah. So on New Year's Eve, probably not Christmas Eve because that seems odd. Yeah. But New Year's Eve, we're going to be having a little New Year's Eve extravaganza. We would really like you to have a drink with us. So if you don't want to do alcohol, that's totally cool. Have a glass of water or Coke or whatever. It's fine.
Absolutely.
We're not saying drink, but we will be. And so who knows where that will lead to. So,
but anytime DTF is mentioned, you have to take a drink. Oh no.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Last time we did it with the word pivot, wasn't it?
We are still not saying that word pivot. You went all year. Stop it. So we're not doing the word pivot. So, still too close.
Well, anyway, we just want to let everybody know, in case you're wondering, you probably weren't, but will we be having a show? Yes. We'd love to celebrate those the two holidays this month with you. Wish you guys all the best, and thanks for hanging out with us.
I'm sorry, I see these comments come up and I have to laugh.
Yeah. So Ray says, I drink during all your Q&As. Thanks. Well, that explains a lot.
Oh, that's just one of the perks of working at Aviant.
Yeah.
Aviant. I always say it wrong, and Ray gets on me about that. So.
Well, is there a right way to say it?
Aviant.
As long as we're saying it?
It's Aviant, and I would say Aviant.
Yeah, well, we could pronounce it one stroke.
I'd rather not do that either. Ray's now drinking heavily now again. It just forces Ray to drink. So, yeah.
Right. So I had to think closely on that because they own so many other brands. Which brand don't they own?
Yeah. You just can't buy. Well, I talked to one company when they bought, they bought a couple companies, and 1 year I go, you just can't buy everybody. And he goes, well, why not?
Why not?
I go, I don't know. I don't have a good answer. I just thought that was the right thing to say.
Yeah. So, all right. And greetings from Flagstaff.
Best ever teas.
Hey, you know what? Let me tell you, my son goes to NAU. Okay. I would love to come by your shop if I'm up there. Can you please reach out to me? Here's my email, marshall@marshallatkinson.com. I would love to learn more about your shop. And I'm not in Flagstaff all the time, but I'd love to swing by one day. So.
I saw that come up. I just saw greetings from Flagstaff, and I'm like, was Jack on listening?
Jack sometimes has been on here, as you know.
Well, we have had him on. You have forced him to come on.
Yeah.
And be a guest, which he does not enjoy.
He does not enjoy that.
And I just don't see him. He has been to Shirt Lab.
Shirt Lab, and he's done some things.
And his question is that all you talk about is T-shirts? And we go, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
So
why
for
you
him,
get to go to college.
he doesn't know why we don't talk about basketball more. That's like his topic. So
Because basketball does not pay his way to college, right, Marshall?
so far, no.
Yeah.
Right? Actually, we found out that the March Madness is going to be here in Phoenix, and he texted me and he goes, "Wonder how much tickets are?" And I texted him back, "Your tuition." So pretty much the end of that conversation.
Yeah,
So,
that's
I
great.
am taking him to the Milwaukee Bucks Phoenix Suns game here in May or March or whenever that is. So so those tickets are crazy expensive.
Yeah, I bet.
But what are you going to do with your dad? It's only money.
Exactly.
Right?
Good times.
All right. So, hey, question. Where about the 3D silicone transfers on Thermoprint's website? I can't seem to find them. So, Braden, can you share what you're talking about if you're still watching? So, so Chris here can get some answers.
Chris,
Because what if a guy wanted to learn more?
What if a guy, you know what? What if a guy came to Long Beach? Would that not be cool?
Here's the answer. See, we're just that fast. They don't have any info on their website.
There's a secret password to get the stuff.
That's right. You say, Braden.
Yeah, exactly. Braden from Zome.
We know Braden. That's how you get in, right?
So, Chris, what if a guy came to Long Beach? What do you think? You going to be able to come?
Right.
So
he says, ask for Artie.
Cool. Artie knows where they keep the silicone transfers at.
That's right.
Cool deal.
Yeah. So anyway, let's wrap up here. I got to tell you, thanks everyone for watching our show. At the end of the year, it's always kind of gratitude laden things. And I don't know if you'll be watching the next couple of weeks because of holidays and stuff. So thanks so much. We really appreciate you. We appreciate GSG for sponsoring the show. It really helps things go. And, we love you guys. So,
what?
Reach out or whatever. We'd love to help.
And you think we just do this, but guys, Marshall and I do talk every time we see new people up, got people like Best Ever Tees on there, someone new on there. And we do talk about the support we've gotten from all the industry veterans and manufacturers that are coming, whether whether GSG's one of your dealers or not. We really appreciate it. And, it does mean a ton. So,
we love you guys and we want all the best for you. And we're all about just best practices and anything. And just to nail it home, right? If you've got questions, here's Alan's email, ahal@easyway.com. He promises to return your email in under 30 seconds. and then here's mine. I might take longer though. So Marshall@marshallatkinson.com for me. We'd love to help you. Just let us participate in what's going on. So, all right. So thanks a lot. And next week we'll be back. Actually, I'm flying out Sunday, going to New Hampshire to work with a shop for a couple of days. So I actually get to wear pants past my knees and maybe some socks. I think it's going to be cold in New Hampshire.
Yeah, well. Yeah, you know what? But it's a great place. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
So
there you go. Braden knows me. Marshall promises a video response, though.
You will do that.
I am not afraid to use my camera, right?
Yeah, and I'm usually on the road, so I don't have my camera with me for a video response. But
all right. So Simon says, happy weekend all. And Charles says, thanks, guys. Have a great week.
Have a great weekend. Be safe, everybody.
All right, with that, we're signing off. We'll talk to you guys later and have a fantastic weekend, and we'll check you next week.
Absolutely.
See you.
Bye-bye.